Police. Mate, come to the door.
So Pete, as I said before, I do have a search warrant for this premises, okay? And you're now detained under that search warrant. I have to let you know that you have the right to remain silent. So if you do answer any questions or make any statements...
Making content about exposing scammers might seem like harmless fun until you get arrested for it. Pete Z was an Australian YouTuber building his channel with Mr. Beast-style content when he decided to take on online scammers. However, what started as content creation ended with police at his door, handcuffs, and a year-long disappearance from YouTube. Who was Pete Z? What exactly happened? And how did fighting scammers almost land him 9 years in prison? Pete Z was carving out his space on YouTube with content similar to Mr. Beast. His channel was growing steadily as he created entertaining videos for his Australian audience. Like many creators, he was always looking for fresh content ideas that would engage his viewers and help his channel grow. However, Pete noticed something that frustrated him. Scammers were everywhere online, targeting innocent people with their schemes. The scammer exposing genre was becoming popular across YouTube, with creators making videos showing the telltale signs of scams and protecting their audiences from fraud. Pete saw an opportunity. He could help his community.
Wish what happens next wasn't real, but I know you're wondering, why were the police even at my door in the first place? So as you all know, I started with uploading sneak-in videos, which all of you guys absolutely loved, and that's how my channel really started picking up. You know, those videos were freaking pretty messed up. Really looking back at them, those videos, like it was like I was a completely different man, a different character when I watched those back, but they were very entertaining. Obviously I did a bunch of, you know, trespassing, this, that, the other.
In 2024, Pete Z made the fateful decision to post videos exposing supposed scammers. He believed he was doing the right thing, protecting innocent people from falling victim to online fraud. His content was meant to educate viewers and shine a light on predatory behaviour. However, what Pete didn't anticipate was how seriously the legal system would take his methods. The videos he thought were helping people would soon become evidence in a criminal case against him. Despite his good intentions, the way Pete went about exposing these scammers crossed lines he didn't even know existed. His content wasn't just struck down from YouTube and other platforms, it triggered something much more serious. Pete's world turned upside down when police showed up at his home. What started as content creation had escalated into criminal charges. He found himself arrested and facing accusations that could have sent him to prison for nearly a decade. As Pete later revealed to his audience, he was charged with unlawful stalking, using a carriage service to menace, harass, or cause offence, and trespassing. These weren't minor infractions. The combined charges carried a potential sentence of 9 years in prison. However, even in this terrifying situation, Pete noticed something telling about how seriously law enforcement took the charges. As he explained to his viewers, "Obviously the charges are serious, but they knew that I'm not someone that is dangerous." The police had actually laughed about the charges, recognising that Pete wasn't a genuine threat to society. Despite this, Pete spent time in a holding cell, facing the reality that his attempt to help people had backfired spectacularly. Pete's legal representatives immediately went to work trying to get the most serious charges dropped. However, the legal process dragged on for months, with Pete finding himself in court every single month. The stress wasn't just financial and emotional, it completely derailed his YouTube career. Pete was unable to post any videos about his situation, leading to a complete year-long hiatus from the platform that had been his livelihood. However, he could still post on social media, though nothing related to his charges. He had promised his audience he would return in May, but even that timeline had to be pushed back as the legal proceedings continued. During this dark period, Pete faced the very real possibility of conviction. His future hung in the balance as lawyers fought to prove that his content creation didn't constitute the serious crimes he was charged with. After months of uncertainty, Pete's lawyer managed to achieve what seemed impossible at the start. The serious charges that could have sent him to prison for 9 years were ultimately resolved with just an $800 fine. As Pete announced to his returning audience, those charges were dropped and cleared. The nightmare that had consumed over a year of his life was finally over. However, Pete knew that returning to YouTube wouldn't be simple. In his comeback video, he showed footage that revealed just how serious his situation had been. Court appearances, police arresting him at his home, and other moments from his legal ordeal. Pete acknowledged that he would need to gain the trust of viewers again, but described himself as excited by the challenge. His year-long absence had given him time to reflect on what went wrong and how to move forward responsibly. Pete Z's story serves as a stark reminder that good intentions don't always protect creators from serious consequences. His desire to help people by exposing scammers led him down a path that nearly cost him his freedom and definitely cost him a year of his career. However, Pete's experience also highlights the complex legal landscape that content creators navigate every day. What seems like harmless content to a YouTuber can cross legal boundaries they never knew existed. Pete's story isn't just about one creator's mistake. It's about the responsibility that comes with having a platform and the need to understand the real-world impact of our digital actions. Despite everything he went through, Pete chose to return to YouTube, showing the resilience that defines many creators who face adversity. His story reminds us that even when content creation goes terribly wrong, there's often a path back, but it requires accountability, legal resolution, and the courage to rebuild trust with an audience that watched everything unfold.